All right, I think we are live. This is Jesse Rogers with the inaugural episode of, I guess I'm going to call it the Compounding Interest podcast. I don't know exactly what I'm going to call it yet, but it's basically about investments and entrepreneurship and the people who are getting involved in it. So I have with me today a student at Palm Beach State College. And go ahead and introduce yourself, Tanya.
Hi there, Jesse. Thanks for having me. My name is Tanya McKenzie, and I'm a current student at Palm Beach State College. And I am a business owner and a part-time student, and I'm happy to be here. Yes.
And this was actually the listeners may find this kind of amusing. This was actually going to be a tutoring session, and we didn't have anything to work on, so we decided we would
Right.
just have a chat, and so you guys get to be part of
Exactly.
that. So
Exactly.
yeah, uh, and you've actually done 27 years in banking. Decided that you wanted a change, and now I understand you are the owner of Gabrielle Wilson Design.
Yes, Gabrielle Wilson Designs. It's an interior design company, and like you said, Jesse, I was in banking for 27 years. I started very, very early. I don't really care about telling my age, but I was 18 when I started. I've been in almost every position at the bank, and about 4 or 5 years ago, I just got tired. I was like, I need to do something else, something that I'm passionate about. I have been designing for over 10 years, interior designing, homes and office spaces and commercial. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to take a leap of faith. I'm going out there. I'm just going to do it. And I did it. And so, yeah, and I'm loving it. I enjoy it. It's a passion of mine. So, yes.
That sounds like it's a much more rewarding experience than just sort of going along with the easy path, with
Yeah.
the going with the flow. You're really, it sounds like taking on a challenge that excites you.
It is. And I'm not going to say that every day is an easy day,
Mhm.
especially in this climate. Things kind of slow down. So you always have to be prepared for those down times. But yeah, it's much more rewarding to wake up and do something that you're passionate about. And even if you're not making as much money as you wanted to make, like say you had a 9 to 5 that was paying 6 figures. Well, for me, I realized it was much more rewarding to do something that made my juices flow. So yeah.
Well, and when you own your own business, there is always that possibility that down the line you could develop that into a business that is exponentially more valuable than the kind of money that you'd be making
Of
working for
course.
somebody else, right?
Of course, of course. It's not only is it rewarding to be your own business owner because most people think, oh, I can come and go as I please. I have the freedom to do everything. But really, when it's your own, you actually work just as hard, if not harder, to make it successful. And it's only as successful as you make it. You're in control of that success. So of course, I have done very well in the interior design business, and yeah. So you have the ability to make as much money as you want. It's how you put yourself out there, how you put your business out there, the branding, the market, yeah, all of that good stuff. So of course, yeah, you can make as much money as you want to make is what you put into it. So.
What are some of the limiting beliefs that prevented you from making that jump, and how did you go about overcoming those?
Well, it was fear. It was fear. It was the belief that I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I believed it, but I thought, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if people will want to hire me to design their home. I don't know. And one another thing is I didn't get a degree in interior design. And in this field, and the people that did get a degree or are getting a degree, they kind of look like, I mean, I don't want to say it, but they think, I got a degree, you didn't, why are you doing better than I, whatever. But it is what it is. I didn't make up the rules. But so so that was a thing. I was like, are they going to take people, are my clients going to take me seriously because I didn't get a degree? It's so that was the things that limited me from wanting to jump out there. And, when you have a 9 to 5 and you have guaranteed money,
Mhm.
you're afraid to leave that,
Yeah.
you know. But what made it, like I said, I was in the office. I said, I can't, this can't be the rest of my career, my life in work. So I just decided it's something that hits you. Maybe you hear something, you see something, I don't know. It's just something that for me, it was something that just hit me. And I decided I have to do it. I'm going to do it. Now I had savings enough to, you don't want to just, jump out there with nothing and
Right.
lose it, but yeah, so I had a little money to lean on and I have a great support system. So yeah, I just did it. So yeah.
I'm sort of in the middle of that process myself. I don't necessarily want to leave Palm Beach State because I love what we do here, and every time that I ever think about getting a different job, it's sort of, it makes me uncomfortable to think of ever
Yes.
leaving because I really like it
Yes.
here. I feel
Right.
like that what you're talking about of doing what you love, I feel like I'm already doing that in a sense.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, I feel like I have to take on some new challenges, and
Right.
I have to do something that's going to force me to grow, because if you don't grow, and if you're not pushing yourself, you can get comfortable,
Yes.
and then you start like deteriorate, and I
Right.
can feel that
Yes.
happening to myself.
Yes, your brain is
Yeah.
not it's like you're not using your brain. The job you have, you can do it in your sleep.
Yeah.
Nothing's going on. It's just this humdrum. And then you have this burning passion to do something that you love. Now, in your case, like you could do both
Yeah,
until I mean,
exactly.
I actually
Yeah.
did both.
Yeah.
I did both for a while and I would work at the bank in the day and in the evenings or the weekends, I would do my design. And then
Mhm.
it got to the point, and I just used word of mouth. I'm not a big social media person, which I should be. Everybody tells me, but word of mouth is everything. And
Yeah.
especially if it's good words, especially if it's positive.
Yeah.
So I just used that and it took off. And I said, you know what? I'm out. But I did both for a while. So that's okay too. At least at some point, um you feel rewarded in your passionate job, so to speak, but you still have something else. And in your case, you love what you do now.
Right.
You love PBs. Yeah. So and I did like the bank, but I could do it in my sleep. So yeah. Anyway.
No, and I think that's really important for people to understand too, is that you know, you don't want to pick the easy route necessarily. That's not necessarily going to be what really makes you happy, because you do need
Right.
some degree of challenge, and you do need
Right.
some degree of difficulty, or else you feel like you're stagnating. And that's a really big key to happiness, is that it's not just about the rewards. I mean, you could give somebody mansions and Lamborghinis and all this stuff,
Yeah.
and they'd be bored to tears if they didn't have
Exactly.
something that drove them.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, that I agree totally with what you're saying. And like I said, I mean, it was like 4 or 5 years I left and it's been awesome, but it still has its challenges. So, um, and towards the beginning, around the beginning, sometimes I was like, what have I done? What did I do?
Yeah.
What was I think? Because I totally left after so many years. I said, what's going on? But you keep pushing because you wake up the next day and you say, I'm going to do it. It's going to work. So yeah, I love it. I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world.
So, have you started hiring other employees, or is it right now just you?
I work with an assistant and I have a general contractor and a handyman.
Wow,
Yes. Yes.
this has really
Yes.
started growing.
Yes. I need those people. One, I don't like when I purchase items, I don't like to take the tags off. So
Yeah.
I sorry. So my assistant, that's who she's right there. And I just the little things, but yes. And then of course she learns a lot, by being there with me, which I like to not just hire, but as far as my assistant, but mentor, and then now she loves it and she's able to go, she can start her own business if she wants to one day. But yeah, so I have my assistant and then my contractor and the handyman, they work, I don't know if they work for, she works for me, she's my employee, but those two are on call for me.
Mhm.
Does that mean we have like a partnership?
Like they're
So
like
if
independent contractors kind of a thing?
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, and I only use them and they're there for me solely and they're the first ones I call and they're on call for me. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? So if
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
a job, they're going to do my job. You know
Yeah.
what yeah. So yeah,
Gotcha.
it's an agreement and it's these are people that I knew before. So I didn't have to go out and go to Indeed or whatever. And
Mhm.
it's not nothing against Indeed. I like Indeed, but I didn't have to go anywhere to hire. I knew these people. That's why I said a great support system is good when you're starting. If you can bring trusted people in to encourage you and be there for you and support you, that's good. And I didn't start with I worked from my home, so I didn't need any overhead. Interior design is a little different. I don't know about what you would do, how you would do yours, but so I didn't need the overhead, but now I'm in an office, I need the space, da, da, da. So yeah, anyway, it's rewarding. I love it.
Yeah, I'm actually starting as a realtor. So
Oh,
yeah, yeah, it's going to take a little while to kind of get things up and running, but my expenses are only about 200 a month right now. So
oh yeah,
that's,
okay.
it's all doable. I'm just making phone calls and talking to people, and
Right.
that's as much
So did you
overhead as it
already
is. So
finish school? Did you already go to school? You
yeah, I
already
got my license
you did. Oh,
yeah, yeah. So
I
I even have
attempted
a
that.
mentor. I even have a mentor. So
Oh,
uh,
okay. Important. Very,
yes,
very helpful. Yes,
yes.
yes, yes. I did start real estate school. I signed online and I couldn't when it started talking about the farms, the real I can't. But it's good. I wish I could. But yeah, so good. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
and it sounds like in that theme of challenge, overcoming challenges
Hmm.
and things like that, it sounds like that's part of what taking math classes is for you now. Is that your motivation?
Let me tell you about this. I was going to mention that. So while I have all these other things, banking, interior design, I actually started at a young age when I finished high school. I wanted to be a psychologist. So hence, here I am. I've been in school the whole time taking night classes, working at the bank, taking night class. I'm a career student. I mean, what can I say? But I just said, you know what? I decided I'm going to get my degree. The only thing I want to study and I'm interested in is psychology. So because I started it and I have so many credits, I have three more classes, and I'll have my AA degree. So then I'll go on to my bachelor's degree and then I'm done.
Hmm.
So that's why I have to have math for it's like, so, but it has nothing to do with my business that I'm in right now.
Hmm. Hmm.
But that's why I'm back in school because I just wanted to get my degree. There's some downtime because of the current climate. So I'm able to go back to school, because I have some downtime, but yeah, so
Well,
yeah,
and that kind of hints at something. To circle back to something you said earlier, there's people who get their degrees and then they think they should be the ones who get the business and they should be the ones that are the leaders in the field, and it sometimes happens like that, but then sometimes it doesn't. And
right.
and I think that could be sort of a misunderstanding that students have, is that once they get their degree, then the gates open and they just walk through into paradise, and it's not like
Yeah,
that, right?
it is not. I would say while you're getting your degree, get out there. Don't
Yeah.
wait until you finish the degree, if you can, because sometimes, you have a lot of classes, you work, I don't know. But even if you have to work, I would say try to find something in the field that you're studying. Try. It's not easy sometimes, but it's possible. So as long as it's possible, then it's doable. You can do it. So yeah, I would be in school. I would tell the students go to school, but try to find something that you like doing. So when you get out, it's there for you, maybe,
Mhm.
and what else is important is connecting. I call it
Yeah.
hobnobbing, getting
Yeah.
out there, going, you've heard of that one, hobnobbing, getting out there, going to little functions. Well, we can't do it right now, but if when we're able to go to little functions that are talking about, say you like theater, we'll go to theater things, or you know what I mean, like that, while you're still in college. So, when you get out, you might have a good job, let me say the job you're looking for. So yeah.
Well, and actually, that's a perfect segue into what I want to do. What I want to do with this podcast is not just have conversations with people, but
Mhm.
actually build on those conversations by inviting students into basically like a club setting where we'll be
Yes.
together in like a Zoom room, and they would have access to you. They would have the ability to ask you questions that I didn't get to, and
Yes.
that would be this is like an introduction to the speaker, this little segment that I do here, but then I
Mhm.
want to continue that conversation in a way that gives the students a sense of belonging to something, and having a
Exactly.
pathway to something, because it's really hard to start a business if you don't know anybody, and if you don't have
Yes.
any guidance on it. It's like, where do I even
Yes.
start? All those
Yes.
questions.
Yes. I agree. I agree. And I love what you're doing. That's why I was so I want to do it. I'm going to get on here. Yeah, I love it because a lot of sometimes people don't realize that sharing is beneficial for everyone. So you
Hmm.
have some people that like to keep all of their information to themselves. Oh, I'm not
Yeah.
telling any, but no, it doesn't. There's enough out
Right.
there for everybody. You know what I mean? So this platform would be great for even me. I could learn from other people, and we can all learn from one another. You know what I mean? So I love it. And you just let me know. I have a lot of entrepreneurial friends that would come on here and gather as much as me. They would
I want
talk
that.
as
That's
much.
exactly, yes. I want to talk to them. I want to talk to them because,
Yes.
and I totally love the fact that there are some easy examples now to understand that concept you're talking about, where, what is it that gives Facebook its value? What is it that gives
Right.
Twitter its value? It's the fact that there's millions of people on there.
Right.
So every single person that's in a system like that is adding value to everyone else in that system,
Exactly.
right?
You're right, Jesse. Exactly.
And that's what we got to build.
Yes, exactly. Like I said earlier, the social media stuff, I'll do it, but I'm not really. But I have a few friends. I mean, they are killing it. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's like, do you sleep? I mean, but it's real. It is
Yeah.
real. Being there on these platforms, it is so real and helpful. And you get to talk to so many different people in the areas that you're interested in, and they give you some great ideas and tips. So yeah,
Yes.
this is great. I love what you're doing. I love what
I
you're
appreciate that. Yeah, and
Yes.
I'm sure that there's some students that have used social media and they've fallen into the trap that I have, where it
Hmm.
distracts me and I'm chatting with people for hours, and a whole day goes by and I don't even know what happened.
Yeah, exactly right. Yes.
And
It's
so and
easy to do. Yeah.
it's easy to do. Yeah, it definitely happens, but it can be used for good too. It can be
Yes.
used, as you're talking about. It can be used to reach out to people, and so sometimes change their lives. There's
Hmm.
who, and I hope that happens with people watching this. I hope that there's people who see this and say, well, wait a minute, if she didn't even have a degree and she got started and was successful at it, why can't I
Yes.
do it?
Yes.
And then even while I'm in college, what better time to start a part-time little gig? Why not get
I
out there?
know. And with social media also, you could have little things that you think, people might not be interested in, but don't let that stop you. Believe me, if you like it, someone else likes it.
Yes,
Believe me.
yes,
But
yes,
so
yes.
just get out there and do it. Just get on there and do it. You know what I mean? I don't care if you're molding clay. Somebody likes to watch that. Or somebody wants to buy your clay that you're selling, because you know what I mean? I don't know. So yeah, this is awesome. Thank you, Jesse.
It is my pleasure, and I think we'll finish it there because we're
Oh, okay.
coming short on time. But I do just want to say to the students, you have access to come talk to Tanya and to meet with us and to be part of this thing that we're trying to create. And so I'm going to send this out to my faculty friends, and
Okay.
hopefully they'll pass it along to their students. And if anybody
Yes.
wants to be part of this and wants to join in, they can just
Come
message me.
on, guys.
Come
Come
on in.
on.
Yeah, they can just email me back. My email is Rogers, Rogers, JJ at palmbeachstate.edu. And so you can email me if you're interested in doing this. You don't have to be a student. You could be faculty, you could be staff, anybody who wants to be part of this entrepreneurial investment talk conversation. That's what this is. That's what we're doing.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, Jesse.
It
Thank
is my pleasure, and thank you for being my first guest.
Yay, number one. Yes.
Number one.
All righty. Take care.
Absolutely. All right.